Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. We did a little maintenance there on the salvia bed that we planted a couple months ago. I thought you'd like to see a little update. It's really bright right now, so I'll put in a few nighttime or dusk shots. But you know, you kind of got to fit things in when you can fit things in. Today is No Makeup Monday. Not that I ever wear a lot of makeup, but my husband paid me a really nice compliment. And I said something about makeup, and he said, well, you don't need makeup, which is not true. I do. My mother always said, if the barn needs painting, paint it. But anyway, I thought that was so sweet, such a sweet thing for him to say. But I do think I should reintroduce myself every now and then because we do have some new subscribers here. So welcome if you're new, and for those of you that have been with us for a while, you know I love you guys so much. We live in Zone 6B in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. We live on 80 acres of the 400-acre family farm, 7th generation farm. My daughter and her husband and our five grandchildren live here with us, and not with us, but they live in another house on the farm. So, and all the family lives all around. So it's just a real blessing to live here. We raise beef cattle here on the farm. So enough chit chat, let's flip the camera around and we'll take a little tour. So I decided to wait till the sun went down just a little bit to give you a tour, but can we just stop for a minute and look at this little quick fire? I mean, it's in all of its glory right now. This is pretty much the full height it will get, and you can see where the blooms start off the white and then they start aging and they start turning a little bit pink. So this is the little quick fire by Proven Winners. And then I always like to have some herbs in containers. This is berries and cream mint, and I was so excited when I bought it. I thought, oh wow, that's going to be so good. And it may be good in a tea, but to eat it by itself, it's like eating sandpaper. It's terrible. And this is a nice little lavender here. It's blooming its head off. I can't remember which variety this is, but you can see all the new blooms coming on there. So let's just switch back around slowly. This is pineapple sage here in this clay pot.
And then back there is, I believe that's barbecue rosemary. I just love rosemary. I love all herbs. And back here is a white lily that I bought recently from a nursery. This is the first year for it, so I hope that it's going to get taller. I didn't realize it was going to stay so short. And then you saw me putting in the stake for this dahlia. This is a decorative dahlia, and I didn't think it was going to need to be staked, but it was starting to want to flop just a little bit. So I used some Velcro plant ties and this stake to stake it up. This is another dahlia. This is polka, and I'm going to dry most of my dahlia blooms this year. So that's a nice dahlia. And behind that dahlia you can see this macrophylla hydrangea. You can see this year it only has a couple of blooms. I think the rest of the blooms got frozen out when we had a frost, an unexpected frost. And I think it's probably maybe at its peak. It's been here about 11 years, and I know that the macrophylla, the big leaf, can last a long time, years and years. But sometimes they do play out. So I think I may take this one out early next or late next winter and replace it with probably a smooth hydrangea. So anyway, the blooms on the salvia have they're at a lull right now, but they were pretty vibrant just a few days ago. But you can see the red and the pink ones in there. And then I did pick up a few rudbeckia. These were like on 20% discount at a nursery. So I picked up some, and I thought they really kind of looked nice and in with the salvia. And then all of the sage we planted there. Of course, sage and salvia are in the same family. But in my wise old owl statue there I found on Wayfair, they had a big discount on their statues. So since we have so many owls here, I thought it was kind of nice to have an owl statue. But the salvia bed is doing really well, and I did, as you saw me, went through and just edged the bed, and I deadheaded a little bit. I don't deadhead a whole lot. I mean, you don't really have to, because the old blooms kind of bury themselves. I just watered here not long ago, but as we go around the corner you can see they don't bloom quite as vibrantly as the ones that are in a little bit more sun. We'll come back and talk about that shrub in just a minute. But I love the salvia just for the pollinators. The hummingbirds have been enjoying the red salvia, and the bees have been enjoying it. Everybody's kind of sleeping right now. And in the video where we initially planted this salvia, I did say that I have broken up with wood mulch mostly, especially in my flower beds. I don't use it anymore. I use compost, and I'm going to freshen up the compost here. I have another project, so I want to make sure I have enough compost. But so let's get back to this hydrangea for a moment. This is the Miss Ruby Mini Mauvette smooth hydrangea, and it's at its full height, pretty much tucked in there. And you can see the blooms are starting to fade. They're pretty vibrant, deep pink, kind of mauve-y pink when they start out, and then they age to this kind of antique color. So one of my favorite hydrangeas, and then behind it you can see the limelight panicle hydrangeas, and you can see how tall they are. I have 3 altogether. Our house is pretty tall. The ceilings inside are 9 foot, so our house is a little bit taller. Every late winter, when I see the green emerging, I cut them back pretty hard. I prune them back by about 1/3, and you can see how much they have grown, and they're getting ready to bloom and do their thing. So anyway, they're lovely. But this little quick fire, one of my favorites, it's one of the very first panicles to bloom. I'm not sure if I already said that, but look at that. Look at that lovely little shrub. I wish we were doing a tour when these were in their full bloom, but they just got done with their flush of blooms, and resting for a bit, and then there's more buds coming on. So I do fertilize these with a granular slow release fertilizer. I kind of once a month just put the fertilizer around them. And you can also do a water soluble fertilizer on these. I will slip you around this side of the house real quickly. These are chestnut rails that my husband and I put together this little bed in a video. And these were used here on the farm for fences. And there are no more American chestnut. You know, they were killed out by a blight. So we still have some of the chestnut rails, and we don't use them as fences, but, you know, just decorative fences and decorative things. But this little bed has really done well. This is Prairie Sun Rudbeckia. This was a volunteer from last year. I had a couple of plants that I grew from seed, the Prairie Sun Rudbeckia, and it came back. Yay! And then I had columbine here. It was so pretty, but now it's all done and gone to seed. This is an osteospermum. Actually, there's 3 of them in there. And that's a cleome from Proven Winners. It stays shorter, and I don't believe it throws its seeds everywhere. And then there's some salvia. So it's just kind of a pretty, it's shaded all the way until about 3 o'clock, and then it gets blasting sun. So it's kind of opposite of really what it should be, but it's pretty. I do enjoy it. And it stays damp in here because you can see, you know, it doesn't get the morning sun. But anyway, it's doing just fine. I stuck my sunglasses back on because I was rolling back the video footage to check it. And I said, whoa, girl, you do need eye makeup. You do need makeup. Anyway, so I stuck my sunglasses back on. I hope you enjoyed the little tour. And I will link the initial video in the description below where we planted all of that so you can see. And we probably talked more, I don't remember. I haven't watched that video back, but we probably talked more about the salvia. But you did see me there at the beginning edging and doing some maintenance and everything like that. Do feel free to leave me a comment if you'd like, and just know that here in my garden, it's very rustic. One of you actually made that comment. It was either here or Instagram, and I really appreciated that because, yeah, that hit it on the head. There's no formal here. It's rustic, and I like it that way. I'm rustic, and I'm country, and my gardens are rustic and country. So, all right, so I'm going to quit jabbering here and wind it up, and I really appreciate you being here today. If you haven't already subscribed, if you've come across this video, I would love for you to subscribe and join us. And I hope you all are doing well and enjoying your gardens. Until next time, friends, happy gardening. Bye-bye.